All right, so here today, you guys, we on gossip talking about democracy. You know what I'm saying? So I was sitting here telling my homeboy that I'm kind of damn tired of black people being Democrats or considering themselves to be Democrats. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I'm looking at you like, you must be crazy to be a Democrat. I'm like, do you not realize that democracy advocates slavery? Like, do you not know that it's a slave master type relationship? You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at it like, okay, well, democracy is black people who I talk to the most, you know what I'm saying? They think, oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's our food stamps. Or that's our housing. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, you people are really that dependent? I'm like, when you gonna realize that the more you look for help, the more they take away from you, basically, you know what I'm saying? Like, you not realizing that the more handouts you ask for, the more they taking from you. See, you think they giving you something, but don't nothing come for free.
Exactly.
You know, don't nothing come for free. So, and the reason why I'm comparing it to slavery is because if you look at some of the things if you look at some of the old stuff like the black Christian codes where it goes into the relationship between the slave and the master and how the master has to provide for the slave. And when you go into the convict leasing, in the convict leasing, when you incarcerated, all right, so they got to take care of you. When you get out, the master still got to take care of you. It's a constant master slave relationship. Democracy the same way. Master slave relationship. And I'm like, these people are not getting it. Like, you know, it's crazy how I was looking at some of my niece paperwork and stuff when she was in school. I'm like, they don't even talk about a republic no more. You know what I'm saying? In school, it's some kind of direct form of government, some kind of direct democracy. And I'm like, what the hell going on? I think black people are gonna definitely have to come back to the Republican fold. You're gonna have to stop being damn lazy, stop looking for somebody to give you something all the time, because you are giving away all of your freedoms and all of your rights. No, this is just me and my thoughts. So I'm gonna ask my homeboy to join in on this with me, and because I know he's very well read, and he obviously definitely knows the difference between a Republican Party and a Democratic Party, and so.
Now,
So I'm gonna let him come on in and say a few words too, cause that's what it's all about.
good afternoon, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen.
What's happening?
You know, this is gossip. You know what I'm saying? We're here with this real talk. You know,
Gossip.
and well, basically, the Democratic Party generally was ran and still is ran to this very day by the descendants of the slave masters.
Definitely.
If you look at the history in this country, some people would be surprised to know that so-called African Americans or blacks were for 90% of that time Republicans and members of the Republican Party. The When we look through history, we find that it was the Democratic Party that opposed most of the, if not almost all, of those measures that would have substantively changed the situation for the so-called former slaves in the United States. It was the Democratic Party who opposed the abolition of slavery. It was the Democratic Party who opposed, if my memory serves me correctly, the Voting Rights Act, the 13th Amendment, the 14th Amendment, etc. It wasn't until recent times, I believe under Lyndon Baines Johnson and the Kennedy administration, that so-called blacks and African Americans began to support the Democratic Party.
That's right. Called a New Deal.
Exactly. Well, that was under Roosevelt.
That's right.
And I was going to definitely touch on that later, but it's more of an economic lean to it. But the Democratic Party, if you look at their policies have been more destructive to so-called African Americans and blacks than any other, most notably the Republican Party, ever could have dreamed of if they would dare do such a thing. You look at, it's the Democratic Party, and I find this very ironic, and hopefully the listening audience can, take in the implications of what this really means. But I find it ironic that the party who is responsible for more black deaths, and suffering and poverty, is the very party that so-called blacks and African Americans wholeheartedly support without any conscious thought whatsoever.
Constantly.
Let's just take a look at effect, you see. Let's look at the abortion topic in this country, right? And who supports it. And let me just say that while I find abortion personally repugnant, I am not willing to tell a woman what to do with her own body. There's a very serious situation there, and I am not sure that I or anyone have come up with a real good solution to that, and that is, how do you protect unborn children as well as the rights of a father who, if the child is born, would be tasked with providing for this child for the rest of his life. And so certainly if you're going to have that duty and obligation, that cannot come without the accompanying right to enjoy and be a part of that child's life. Right. So how do you protect the father's rights and the unborn child's rights without violating the divine and natural rights of the woman? And I don't see how we could do that as a society. And so for that reason, I think that the government has no place in that. That it should be up to families and individuals and couples to make that type of decision. Because, I mean, who can say they have a right to tell a woman what to do with her body or to risk her own life? I don't see how we do that. Well, with that said, abortion is let's just call it what it is. It is a population control mechanization or tool.
Right. See here.
And a eugenics tool as well.
See here, gossip. I ain't trying to cut you off, you know what I'm saying, but I want to try to stick to the Democrats.
That's what I'm talking
which
about.
Is still, hold on, you're still going all together, because the Democratic Party is the one that pushed for kicking the mail out the house.
Well, wait a minute. That's going to be I'm going to get to that.
I know
how I get down, brother.
I know
I'm thorough.
I
okay?
know.
So don't just because I'm talking about one element.
I want to, cause abortion is such a
no.
Abortion is such a
huge
topic.
Where I'm going with it is showing unequivocally that Democrats are the enemies of our people. Period. And all we have to do is look at their policies. Now, abortion is a mechanism to kill us off. It's a silent weapon, okay? Like they called for early on in the beginning of this century when they devised their plan for our continued control and annihilation, right? And so, abortion, while we have been silly enough to look at it as simply a matter of, well, a woman, she have a right to do with her body, and she certainly should, but it's used as a weapon to exterminate our people. And then when you realize the sheer number of human beings in our race that have been destroyed or killed or wiped out, you will understand its significance, because the number tops over 40 million in the last few decades. Okay? 40 million black people are not here today because of abortion alone. So we'll sit up here and we'll get enraged at the police shooting a person, gunning one of our people down. And when you look at the statistics, you might get a few hundred or maybe 1,000, and that's too many, but incidents in a year's time. And you'll have 1 million abortions or 2 million abortions in that same period of time. So how is it that is not relevant to what we're talking about? And that the fact that the Democratic Party wholeheartedly and is basically the sole purveyor of this policy, and yet they claim to be the friends of our community and our people. So I don't see how anyone could ignore that. It's a major component in what's happening here, and a part of the Democratic policy, and showing and demonstrating that the Democrats are the former slave masters, the former neo-Nazis, the former let's just say racists, okay? Because if you look at their policies are racist. Their policies are destructive to our community, such as the policies that was brought about by Bill Clinton, the so-called first black president, who changed the mandatory sentences for crack cocaine, okay, in this country. And we see that eviscerated our families, totally left them broken and destroyed. Probably will never be able to repair the damage done. So, you see, this has been a systematic destruction of our community by the Democratic Party. And I don't want to ignore any major nor minor tool or instrument that they use to exact such a destruction. Now, I give up the flow. That's a drop the mic moment.
Hey, I love it. I'm like, this nigga here. So he done dropped the mic. I'm gonna pick it back up though. You know what I'm saying? And it's interesting because you brought up Margaret Sanger. You know what I'm saying? And talking about her, she is this doggone, I don't really know how to describe her, but she is definitely one that is a straight up activist for pro-black abortion. You know what I'm saying? She big on that, so I definitely agree with you on that. And how the Democratic Party is really pushing for black people to damn near pushing for their elimination. It's just like in my opinion, it's a slow death. Like they slowly just trying to wipe your ass out with your consent. Like you consenting to your own elimination. On the real though, black people have got to stop pushing for something that's not benefiting them. Black people been voting Democrat for 50 damn years or longer. Well, I know it's been longer, but you know what I'm saying? And they ain't got shit different yet. It's like, when y'all gonna see that the Democratic Party is not benefiting y'all, no matter how much they telling you that they're planning to benefit you? Do you not understand the master-slave relationship? Okay, if I tell you that, okay, it's going to get better later, what you going to do? You going to shut your mouth and keep doing what I asked you to do. But that's what you do now. You know, back then you would get that whip. Couple slashes across your back, give you some act right. You know what I'm saying? so you won't talk that shit back then. You talk that shit back then. See, now you can run your mouth and they just tell you, we gonna do this and we gonna do that and we don't do shit for you. You know what I'm saying? But it's like we still don't see that picture yet. We still constantly like, yes, Democrat. They fighting for us the right to vote. Fuck voting.
If a man have a gift for you in his right hand, believe me, he has a chain in his left.
I'm trying to tell you. Shit, why are we fighting so hard to keep us from shit that keeping you in bondage?
You know, I don't know what's wrong with our people.
I don't either.
You know, I mean, if you just simply look at the policies of the Democratic Party, the policies of the Democratic Party and how they affect our community. Look at such issues like the education system. You know, the Democrats believe in this top-down, one-size-fits-all, federally governed and controlled, education system. One that instead of rewarding the gifted children and children who work hard at their grades and so on and so forth, and they hold those in gifted children back in order to not upset the feelings of the children who don't do as well. Or they now they're introducing drugs and different MSRIs and antidepressants and sedatives to our children, and vaccinating them and what's the word for it? I'll just use a series of vaccinations, a vaccination regimen that is insane. Where you're giving 20 and 30 vaccinations at one time to young children. Yeah. And we don't have any understanding of the effects that this is having. And believe you me, it is having a major effect. It is stunting the development of these children. They are developing things such as autism, and other diseases, and neurological disorders. It is retarding their intellectual growth and basically freezing their IQ or lowering their IQ levels and things of that nature. All of these things are coming from policy supported and put in place by the Democratic Party. I like to call them the party of genocide, because that's exactly what they are and what their policies are. If you look at the major cities in the United States that are wholly controlled by the Democratic Party, these are the very same places that the vast majority and masses of brown people are suffering under these policies. They don't have jobs, or they have very poor quality jobs. Again, the educational system is crumbling and failing our children and dumbing them down, teaching them less and less subjects, and if teaching them at all, really they just program them to believe a certain social construct. And if you look at the people who are responsible for curtailing the rights of brown people, no one has done more than the Democratic Party to do that. For instance, the harsh restrictions on firearms and possessions of firearms, and you have the Democrats attempting to brainwash, and they said as much that they would do so. The Attorney General Eric Holder, the Attorney General under the Barack Obama administration, said and is filmed and recorded as saying that we just going to have to brainwash an entire generation into thinking differently about guns.
And they've damn near done that.
Exactly. And if you look where you have the highest and most stringent gun regulations, firearm regulations, you have the highest gun violence. And think about that. The most gun violence and deaths happen in democratic controlled areas where you have the highest gun restrictions. And when you look at where you have the lowest amount of gun restrictions, you have the lowest amount of gun violence. This is an absolute fact and flies in the face of all of the democratic claims that the more guns leads to more gun violence. It's nonsense. Democratic policies and educational systems is what leads to more gun violence. And that's the bottom line.
Yeah, totally agree. Cause that's what I mean. Look at places like New York, they got high gun restrictions. Chicago, they got high gun restrictions. You know what I'm saying? It's going down in these places, and it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, people as a whole have to come back into the fold of the republic, because the republic is individualism. You know what I'm saying? It's not necessarily the majority rule. Cause this Democratic Party, the majority rule. If you not the majority, then you constantly being given orders to slave. You know what I'm saying? Cause you not the masters. The masters are the majority. You know what I'm saying? So it is like,
it's known as the tyranny. It's the tyranny of the 50 plus 1%.
I like the way you put that.
You know, that's what it is.
Yeah.
You know?
And man, we really gotta understand what the hell is going on, and we got to break these old cycles, man. I don't know what is it about us that we can't see, we keep great. You know what I'm saying? They say to keep doing the same thing over and over and expect a different result is insane.
That's what they say.
So we must be insane.
Oh, clearly, black people.
We got to
so-called
be
black
insane.
folk are bonkers.
Got to be, you know. These people, they just not getting it. And
No, I mean, again, look, for instance, now this may not be wholly like a democratic policy, but one of a government, but the police department. And how many people know that the Fraternal Order of the Police are directly out of the organization itself was founded as slave catchers. You see? And then people wonder why they are out there gunning down brown people. Now, let's be perfectly clear. They gunning everybody down.
Oh, yeah.
Because everybody is a slave in this system.
That's right.
You
Everybody is a slave.
We need to remember that.
Oh,
Keep
yeah.
that in mind going forward. That's our European friends and family members out there. You know, you should be mindful of the fact that it was your support of them curtailing the gun rights of brown people that now place your own rights to bear a firearm in jeopardy. And so you shouldn't be so quick to curtail the rights of those others across the street.
Let me ask you a question. Who is behind the Trading with the Enemy Act?
If I am not mistaken, that would be Franklin Eleanor Roosevelt.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Shortly around about the time, or shortly thereafter, of the banking emergency of 1933, the same emergency that we are under to this very day, and what is responsible for the system that we are being governed by, this democracy. This democracy is a front. It is a farce in a sense, in that it is a coup Okay? The republic was overthrown. It no longer exists. The United States of America as a nation no longer exists. It exists only on paper and not even there, really, except in its liquidation. And so in its place was instituted a new form of government, and it is called a democracy. And so every politician who stands up there, Republican or Democrat, who talks about our democracy, understand that they are traitors and they are not, and I say it again, they are not de jure officials of the United States of American government. They are trustees for the bankruptcy of the United States of America. And that they work for the United States Corporation. Okay, so that's what that is. So when you hear democracy, understand that you're talking about banker rule, because that's what's going on.
Exactly what's going on.
You see? So just put that little tidbit out there.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, some people that's listening may not understand what exactly is bankaroo, but it's exactly that, bankaroo. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the laws that are put in place are private laws that are brought out by bankers, because all your laws and statutes have established dates on them, copyrights. You know what I'm saying?
How you gonna copyright publicly?
Yeah, I know, right? And so, you know what I'm saying? Like, I
the
think...
fact is copyright means legally and lawfully it is private.
That's right. That is private. You know what I'm saying? And every day, you know, especially every 4 years when it come time to election, you know, people are constantly, Democrats are black, especially black, because, you know what I'm saying, they are constantly Democrat. We need to go out here and vote Democrat. We need such and such and such. He's still a Democrat, and even like my brother just said, on the Republican side, if they talking democracy, hey, you working for the bankers. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? You're promoting fucking master slave relationships.
It's exactly what they're doing, because the United States at the end of the day is what it always was, except for in its inception it was meant to be something different, but that's another story altogether. But the United States is a slave plantation.
Yes, it is.
And everybody on it is a slave. Some just have more freedom than others, or more privileges than others. So, you know, and this whole issue with the banking system that's another issue we need to address one day.
Yeah,
and it's important and exhaustive, and our people need to be aware of certain things.
Yeah,
because they do affect you in your everyday life, though you think they do not.
That's right. Totally agreed. Totally agreed.
And so we know that the Democratic Party, and also, if I'm not mistaken, my memory serves me correctly, when I was researching the origins and the etymologies of the word democracy, breaking the words down in its components, I discovered that roughly the meaning of the word democracy is the workings or the system of the demons. And I found that quite interesting and important to shine light on the true nature of the party.
And that's serious too. I mean, I definitely feel you. Like, you know what I'm saying, I haven't looked into that, but I do know that, as you was mentioning, breaking the word down into its etymology. I mean, you got democracy. The first words you have in democracy is demo.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, come
and then
on.
the classy is the workings of, or the way of.
That's
know, so it's the way of the demons.
That's
it's as
right.
simple
So
as that.
I definitely can see where that goes. I'm like, yeah, you got a great point about that.
Exactly. So they tell you front up in your face what they about.
You know what I'm saying?
So I mean, there were. Well, I'm not gonna bring that one up. But if anybody doubts that the United States is engaged in slavery on a grand scale, not just the United States, the entire Western world, and really the whole, almost the whole of the world, you'll find that everyone is a debt slave.
Debt slave.
It is called debt bondage, the ancient practice of pledging one's energy, soul, so to speak, to whomever. In the olden days, it was Moloch and Baal, maybe, and now today it is the Federal Reserve. Okay, but that is the mystery Babylon that everybody's expecting, and has been here for quite some time,
Been here a long time.
unnoticed by these so-called scholars and priests and people who has the ear of God, and but I guess not so much to where he gave them that little bit of information. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They totally missed that. Of course, they have a 501c3, and so they are beholden to the state and the state's interest, and they cannot oppose the state's interest and remain tax exempt.
That's right.
So just to shed a little bit of light on the preacher, you know, not that I'm snitching on him or nothing. You know. Just say it's a little bit of a dry snitch. So.
Throwing a little bit of it out there.
Yeah,
Let you know that he on their side.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, this institution is wholly promoted and backed by the state for the purpose that it serves, which is to keep the people docile and dumb.
That's right.
You know, and I don't care what your religion is.
Part
really.
of the bigger agenda.
Exactly.
Part of the bigger agenda.
We got a lot of work to do, people, and really, I do not support, to be honest with you, us voting in any way, shape, or form in this system. I think that it is every time we do so, we make a mockery of our suffering and the suffering of our ancestors. And it's a slap in the face every time we do it. Because how in the hell you people going to be so foolish as to give your energy to those who killed your mothers and your fathers and support their system designed to destroy your babies? You some damn fools.
Gossip.
You some damn fools. So you better wake the hell up and understand what's at stake. And people talk about racism. Yeah, that's the problem. We not in the race.
At all.
We being walked all over.
Yeah, people get that.
They climbing to the top on our backs.
Yeah, people get that misconstrued.
Racism
and prejudice.
Uh-huh.
Using the wrong word.
Because everybody prejudges.
Yeah.
See, people silly, man. They don't even know how to read or think.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to knock or browbeat anybody. I'm just saying that we who are supposed to be the descendants of the ancient ones, how dare us sit here lying in ignorance and promoting it as if it's some badge of honor? It's disgusting.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And it's a shame that not many are entertaining or information. You know what I'm saying? They rather get out here and laugh. Not saying nothing's wrong with that, but damn it, you gotta stop laughing sometime and get serious.
Exactly.
You
laughing
serious.
while your baby's dying.
I'm telling you.
What the hell, man? If I had my way, honestly speaking, I would kill half of those motherfuckers myself. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I know it. You said this in the last episode.
Oh, I did. Then I doubled down. Now everybody know I wasn't fucking playing.
I know that shit.
Because
right.
I take it that seriously. If you're going to drag us all down to the grave, we're gonna have to chop your ass off the body.
That's right.
That's what's gonna happen. So you brothers out there who want to keep acting the fool, keep on going. Keep on going, because I think that your days of causing harm and shame on our people is closely and quickly coming to a close.
Yeah.
Not a threat, just a promise.
Oh, yeah. I definitely can see that. Because I'm tired Hell, I've been tired. You've been tired, and I've noticed that people that are actually just I guess I can say, not to be, but I just guess I can say that people are just now the people that are coming into this level of awareness. Hell, they tired. And they just coming into the level of awareness, and they tired.
I've had that experience with friends of mine who look at me and finally said, like, man, you know what, man? We're going to have to kill somebody.
I'm telling you, like, shit.
You preach to the choir. Okay, you preach to the choir. You're right. It's not that's not something I want to have to do.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it is a necessity.
It is.
And so if that's the situation we forced in, we ain't gonna let the European touch them.
Yeah.
Because that'll be a dishonor again on us, on our ancestors. We're gonna do it. Because we have the right to take care of our own affairs.
That's right. And that was part of the drips that I had read, the Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People. It talk about we having the rights to our own affairs, the right to addressing issues the way we see fit. You know what I'm saying? The right to address things going on in our community. We have that right.
Mm-hmm. We have the right to form our own nation.
We have the right to form our own
people
nation.
Think this pie in the sky. It's because you're a coward.
Exactly. Our own government. You know what I'm saying? Our own financial system. We have the right to do all that shit.
You claim to be equal to every other man on this earth, but you refuse to do your duty.
Yep.
And form your own nation and protect your own seed. But I ain't gonna get on in this show.
That's right.
But if people don't understand where I'm coming from and where I want to go with, because I'm dead serious, it's time to change that now.
It's time, and they constantly
right now.
Like, please, Democratic,
give us more toys.
Give us something. Do something.
And let me explain to you, the brothers and sisters out there, and the ignoramuses. Not that y'all equal, okay? But let me explain something to you. That there are legal implications to almost everything you do. And if you hold your hand out and beg for a handout from someone, it is presumed that you grant them the authority to do that.
That's right.
So if you ask someone to provide for you your substance, your food, your housing, your clothing, it is presumed that they are your mama and your daddy. And if you think I'm lying, look it up, okay? Look it up. You cannot ask the state to give you something and you not empower them to give it to you. Mm-hmm. And if the state must provide for you and take care of you, it is an admission that you are incompetent and incapable of taking care of yourselves. Mm-hmm. And that in itself raises yet another set of presumptions and legal conditions and implications, in that you are not heritable. Mm-hmm. You understand? You cannot own anything if you are incompetent. If you think I am lying or mistaken, look it up. Mm-hmm. If you are born out of wedlock, and I am not referring to necessarily, even though this is what the state would like to have you believe, that this means you must be married according to their admiralty commercial marriages processes or whatever, but that you most certainly produce your children in the arrangement of a agreement between the man and the female, okay? To provide for those children, sort of like a trust, such, in a contract between you and your mate, right? If you produce a child outside of some institution, that child is inheritable because it is a bastard. And in the laws, they are known as foundlings, particularly in the canon law. So you see, everything we are dealing with has an element to it. And really its underpinning is legal. And there are many who would deny this. Of course, these people are out to lunch or just brain dead. Okay? Because everything is legal, or a legal process. Everything is related to the law. Every single activity. And for no other reason than because in this day and time and in this system, everything is commercial.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Your marriage is commercial. Your child is commercial, has a commercial value. Okay? You are a commercial commodity, a product. Okay? So in some canons, you are referred to as movable goods. You see,
goods,
or
chattel.
persons, or
Yep,
persons. You see, and so you people need to wake up, man.
Agriculture considered to be chattel. Male, female versus masculine and feminine. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm sorry.
Go ahead, bro.
And for these sellouts and snitches and turncoats who are less than what was his name? Who took 60 pieces of silver in payment for basically handing over, telling the authorities where Jesus' whereabouts were. What was his name?
I don't know.
Damn it, I can't remember his name either at the moment. But Judas.
No, okay.
Right? They worse than Judas because Judas got silver. They sell out for debt.
Yeah.
They sell their own race out for fiat. Ain't even fucking money. So that's how pathetic some of our people, particularly in roles of leadership, are. That they sell out their own people, their own children. They sell them into slavery for debt notes. Yeah. So,
Hey, I agree with you. It's a lot of stuff going on that, that haven't been disclosed to them, you know what I'm saying? But in their choices for democracy, it don't need to be disclosed, you know what I'm saying? Because we the majority, so we decide what's best for you.
Exactly, so. Yeah, because the majority is it can be, listen, in the Republic, and I'm not saying that when we form our nation, that we should pattern that nation or our form of government behind anything that exists today.
We definitely should not. I totally agree on that, bro.
But if we are going to do that and form such a government, we need to understand the differences between these forms of government and what the pitfalls are, or the weaknesses and strengths that they each may have. And let me say the Republic is far superior, though not perfect, it's far superior than a democracy, because in a Republic, it is not simply the rule of the majority. It is a respect for the minority, right? It is a rule of both the majority and the minority, basically, or in a sense, okay? In that the minority have the same rights as the majority, and the majority cannot curtail or vote away those rights. But in a democracy, it is the tyranny and dictatorship of the 50 plus 1. And they may simply vote themselves more and more gifts, and you, or the 49% plus 1, or 99, whatever, less and less gifts, you see? And there's nothing you could do about it because it's a democratic process. They voted for it.
That's right.
And all you got to do is dumb down the population enough to go for any goddamn gimmick that you put out there, like they've done today, where these dumb ignoramuses are out there voting on such silly issues as banning guns in a place where guns are already banned. These people are ignorant as hell, okay? Or talking about, silly things as such as or I shouldn't say this particular issue is silly, but it's just a matter which is being handled about healthcare, right? If these people gave one rat's ass about health, you don't start with the treatment of the disease. You start with the prevention. What the fuck wrong with people? Excuse my language. So, excuse me, but aren't these the same people who vote for poisoning our fucking children with this garbage that they putting on the store shelves? Has anybody read Codex Alimentarius? Huh? I bet you very few have. But you all need to read that. Okay? Because in there it describes what their plan is and was and the effects that it would have. And these people decided to outlaw nutrition itself. So that all of the food manufacturers had to strip as much of the nutrients out of their food products as possible. They certainly have done that. In its place, they put all manner of chemicals and artificial this and artificial that into, now you're pickling your fucking self from the inside out when you eat.
Preserving yourself.
Exactly. Like, so, I don't know, man. And by the way, let me point out one more, to me, which is a glaring example of the Democratic mind, how frightening they are. These people scare me to death. Okay? The California, everybody understands, is probably one of the most liberal states in the union. And in California, there are places where it is illegal to grow food in your own yard.
I know, right?
I want people to think about that for a second. You are not allowed to feed yourself off your own land. Do you think any of our ancestors would have tolerated that nonsense? But to us, it's the law. How the hell it is.
Right?
How the hell can any man pass a law barring the right of another human being to eat and to grow and produce food on his own land, mind you?
That's right.
It's asinine.
That's crazy.
If this doesn't show you that these people have no law in them, nothing they do is lawful. They don't believe in the law. They believe in the legal process. It's two different things. And these people think that your very existence is a privilege that they can grant or take away. That is the scariest damn thing I've ever come across. Listen, they believe that the people, fundamentally, their bodies and everything about them belong to the fucking state.
That's right.
A fiction. On paper. A dead thing, as in corporation.
Walking dead, and they can do whatever they want to do with you.
So I mean, we can go on and on and on about this, but I think it should be clear to anybody who is capable of rational thought and simply looking at the facts, and not get all emotional and hurt because they consider themselves to be Democrats, and that's another thing. Why is our people so fucking stupid as to describe the essence of their being with what party they affiliate with, or their religion, or their job? What the hell is wrong with human beings? Seriously, really? That's, if you ask them, what are you? What do you do? What do you do? Oh, I'm a fireman. Oh, you're a fireman. Okay. That's it? That's all you are? You're a fireman? You don't do anything else? You don't think, are you? I mean, just show you how brain dead we are. We're the only species on Earth that doesn't know what it is like or what it means to be ourselves.
To be ourselves.
And so I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, because they constantly restrict us from being who we are.
Mm-hmm. They keep you busy working.
All the time.
Going to work or coming from work. Or thinking about work. You know what I'm saying? Why are you sleeping? It's supposed to be anyway. So, yeah.
Gossip. Thank you guys for tuning in. You know what I'm saying? If you like what you're hearing, please subscribe or add us to your favorites. And please share the message if you guys like what you're hearing. Awareness can only be obtained through sharing. Each one teach one. That's going to wrap up this episode of Gossip. I want to thank you guys for tuning in and listening. You know what I'm saying? I hope that you guys understand the message. And I know in the beginning I was talking about how black people need to really wake up, but really, you know what I'm saying, we all need to come out of this democratic form of government, this democracy, because democracy promotes a slave to master relationship. You know what I'm saying? We was put into this when the Bankruptcy Act took place, and then they just basically threw the Constitution away. You know, the Constitution is a republic. You know, they don't even mention that part about the Constitution no more. You know what I'm saying? And it's really crazy out here, you know what I'm saying? I want you guys to really share this, really listen to it, and really understand what we have gotten into, you know what I'm saying? Especially black people, brown people, you know what I'm saying? Like, it is time that you guys begin to stop supporting that which do not benefit you. Them days are over. It's time to leave that shit behind. If they're not going to literally do something for you, let's stop voting. Straight up. I'm tired of all these black celebrities and shit talking about we need to go vote and make our difference. You're not making a difference. It's the electoral college that makes a difference. You not making no difference, regardless of what the hell they say. Regardless of, you know, you not making no difference. You making a difference in your town, yes. Vote in your town for who you putting in, and you know what I'm saying, over the policies in your town. That's a must. But when it comes to the bigger scale, the grand scale of things, you not making a difference, regardless of what the hell you being told. You know what I'm saying? It's really time that things change, and we definitely come to a level of awareness, because doing the same thing over and over and getting the same results is really asinine. And it's time that we do something different, straight up. So thank you guys again for tuning in to Gossip. Let's try to move forward these next 10 years of our civilization, and let's try to get up on a new tune. Let's get aware. Let's become more aware, more knowledgeable about what's going on, what we're actually involved in, and let's stop going by what you're being told. See, that's that master-slave relationship. Well, I don't have to research. Master said it's this. Well, damn what master say. Go and do some research. Find out for yourself what the hell is going on, so you can stop looking crazy out here, because you're definitely looking crazy. You know what I'm saying? Regardless if they laughing at you in public or laughing at you behind doors, you getting laughed at the end of the day. So let's do something different, because it's really time. Thank you guys again for coming to Gossip. You know what I'm saying? Of course, share this message. You know, more and more people need to hear it. And I hope you tune in to our next episode. Thank you. You guys have a great day.